In the fifth and final installment of our reflection of the 2015 boys volleyball state title, we asked the former Rockets if that championship team was the most talented team they ever played on. They highlight the depth from the starters all the way to the end of the bench, the statistics they put up, and accolades they brought home.
We had a bunch of people who could have been starting for like just about anyone else in the state. A lot of people. There are a few other seniors were like Jeremy Wong, Dylan Ellman, like some other good people that like lifelong friends on that team. Yeah. And some of the people that they weren't getting like the minutes that you could have seen from any other place in the state. And it's really hard to compare it now because we like me, Skylar, and Timmy were all on the same club team that year also. And so I don't know. We went back and forth. We had a very similar level. Our high school team could have competed with the club team. It would have been a battle. Yeah. And that was taking people who were some of the best seniors throughout the state.
It's impressive.
And, yeah.
Dude, you're talking about high level players that had to battle for minutes. We got Will Sherry out here. Mm. Will was a grinder, a huge work mentality, and I think everyone on our roster would start on most of the teams. We had a huge amount of depth that came into play in the playoffs and in the later season when we had the injuries, when we had Brendan go down. Like that would be catastrophic to a lot of teams, especially when Westfield has stronger middles. Like that was a huge thing that we had Kevin step up and play incredibly at the end of it. Like I think we were the most talented team in the state that year, and I'm glad that the record reflects that. Mm-hmm. So thank goodness we worked for it and earned the title.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you had, too, was a collection of seniors who were super talented, and we had some, obviously, like a 6'8" and a 6'7" guy, which you don't see in high school volleyball very often. And then we also had like a wealth of talent from the junior class in addition to the depth of the senior class. So guys like Simon Shulman and Trevor and Kyle Tabaski and Declan Ennis, you know, they would go on the next year and go 24-2 as seniors. So when you sandwich those two classes together, I haven't had back-to-back classes, the 2015 and 2016 group, with that much talent together for sure, you know, and it obviously would have been interesting, you know, this year. I think the 2020 guys and guys like, you know, a guy like Owen Fanning, they were the next class that I would say were almost as talented as this group. But, you know, the height, the athleticism, like a lot of these guys won, you know, Paul and Declan and Simon and Alex won a soccer state title that same year. And then would go on, you know, and they had a ton of success in club volleyball for Smash. It was definitely a ton of talent. But the one tricky thing is, you know, in my 20 years, I hadn't seen another talented group like Newton South either. Like they were almost every bit as talented as us and almost every bit as athletic and physical and tall as us. So,
they wanted it just as much.
Yeah, and they had that drive too. Like they had the leadership, and they had these kids from other sports. Like they had a bunch of basketball players, and so they had that experience of winning one. So to have two programs at that level, made for that what that match was, which was an absolutely just amazing display of high school boys volleyball.
I mean, my main points, we were really, really, really good. Like Paolo said, the senior and junior class were incredible. I mean, between those 2 years when like all of a sudden done and everyone's graduated, I think there was a Boston Herald or Boston Globe All-Scholastic player at every single position. From, you know, Rasco being player of the year also in 2015. So, I mean, just with accolades and stats all combined together, it's just really, really impressive group of people.